All right, we're live. Now, what were you guys saying about aliases?
Oh, they were just trying to figure out who your aliases were.
Snap. Apparently, I got tons of aliases. All I see is light blue font color in
Well,
every other thread.
I mean, you got exposed as being a mod already.
Oh, did you guys see the tweets by Trump calling Megyn Kelly a bimbo again?
Nah.
I heard you went in today.
Trump is on a that dude's phone. He's on a roll, man. I
Is
just
that, is
don't
that what we're calling
understand.
it?
Yo,
It
just
really is a roll.
All
If
right,
you
but
look
what
at
did she say to deserve that?
I don't even know what she did. I don't really follow Fox like that, but
Mm.
he went in on her though.
Dad, you're exposing your other alias right now. You know that, right? Yes. That was
Yeah.
be pissed for taking his thunder.
I don't even have time for alias.
yo, did somebody make a gif when he motioned the bodyguard to get the guy out of there? That's got to be the best gif. You guys see that little clip? I was in
I saw
the
that
I was
clip.
crying, man. I was dying.
I
That
didn't
was
see
the
that.
greatest shit ever, man.
Yeah, he straight sunned the reporter. That was,
He's definitely gaining steam, man.
If he gets the Republican nom, I mean, I think
Everyone should kill themselves.
the two-party system's probably fucking done. Oh yeah, Dad, you should post the YouTube and the forum and post the topics on the sidebar here, bro.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the minimum wage first or what?
Minimum wage? Oh.
I'll let the
Well, there was
moderator.
the real quick. Did you guys all see the video of the reporter who got shot live on the air? Her and a
Yes.
cameraman.
Post it up, bro.
The World Star Hip Hop video or what?
Yo, Gonzo don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man. People die every day, B.
Hashtag No Lives Matter.
Wow.
Don
No
was doing
lives
push-ups
matter.
watching the video earlier.
Oh, fuck.
You guys are awful.
No lives matter. That's pretty good actually.
yeah, it was pretty surreal. I mean, I think I didn't read his manifesto, but they supposedly he had a manifesto that came out as well. He was talking about. I don't know if he tried to say it was in response to the Charlatan shooting, as well as he said the racist comments he dealt with at the news agency he worked at. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him killing himself too, man. If
Yeah,
you're
he
not
went,
pissed,
he went out like a bitch by killing himself.
yeah, he should have just killed himself, and that was it. That was the end of his chapter.
Yeah. I mean, but supposedly, yeah, I mean, the woman had made some racist remarks towards him, and he reported it, and she still got hired for the job. And then when he worked with the camera guy one time, and the camera guy reported him to the HR for whatever reason, and he just had a vendetta against them. And then when I read a little bit about the manifesto, and then when the Charlotte massacre happened at the church, he was just kind of like that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's when he decided to do something stupid.
So he's kind of like that cop in California, you're saying, someone you can look up to.
I forgot the guy's name.
What the fuck?
I mean, he's just a crazy person.
I mean, he said, and also in there, he said he was getting harassed because he was a black gay man. I think the white girls at the station wanted to give him some pussy, and when they found out he was gay, they started ragging him. No, because he said they were getting on him for that. And
Dude.
then he said
They
the black.
Where did you get this shit from? Where'd you
Wait,
get
wait,
it?
wait,
This is
Just posted earlier.
that shit,
Yo,
man.
did you see this dude? Did you see this dude? This dude is not the type of dude that chicks are gonna just throw pussy at, man. Like, come on, man. Nah.
Nah, man, that dude built like a tank, bro. He's 6'3", 225. That dude's a football player size dude, man. I mean, I didn't like where he wrote that supposedly he was getting bullied, being such a big ass nigga, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Look, I'm reading right from ABC
Yo,
News.
Gonzo don't give a fuck about nobody, yo.
He talks about how he was attacked for being a gay black man. That's right on ABC News, man. I don't know. Do you guys read the news? You guys get question me like I'm making shit up.
Wait, so
Like I got nothing better to do.
I don't know why
he's
you
a
mad,
20 guy,
nigga.
and he's gay? He's this big and he's gay, and he was getting bullied?
That's what he said himself.
Wait, but didn't the Coli, they just post an article about gay dudes getting paid more than straight black males? Weren't gay guys supposed to get paid more than
Yeah,
straight guys?
that don't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
Gay people are under. They get discriminated against. You know what I mean? Like just like any other group of people.
Exactly.
But should that cause you to snap and shoot 2 people?
Hell the fuck no. I mean, if you really wanted to do some damage, I mean, why not just go like beat them up or something? Or maybe go like I don't know, just do something more low key. You don't gotta go all the fucking way and fucking.
I mean, he wasn't saying anyway. Did you guys see the first person video that he put up?
And I wish I didn't.
And how he stood next to them for like a good time, a good while, and then
He pointed the pistol at the reporter lady, and then
they were oblivious.
Yeah, he could have pulled his dick out and started jacking off, and they wouldn't have noticed, man.
Nah, that was the one that bugged me out. Like that was some real. I hadn't seen a lot of shit on the internet lately that had me really like in awe. But I was watching it and I was just like, yo, like this shit is crazy. And when he pulled the hammer out and started pointing it at her, and they didn't even look, I was like, is this? I couldn't even believe it was real.
Exactly. I told people earlier, like I had to pause the video, and I was like, I don't know if I should finish watching this, and then I just kept reading and reading. I was like, then I went back and finished it, and it was just surreal because you hear the shooting, and then the camera drops, and you still hear a shooting. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bad news. I think one of the other guys on the forum was saying earlier that I don't know if I didn't get to look into it myself, but that he had reported racism and maybe sexism in the past at other places.
There was a different. I want to say Florida
the
or
history
something
of
like
doing
that.
it.
Yo,
Florida, huh? Florida, huh?
Of course. And I mean, that's not to say that it didn't happen, of course. I mean, we're never going to fucking know. But, it makes you wonder about the guy's state of mind,
Nah, I think he obviously has some mental health issues. I think if we like digged into it, or if he has some kind of like medical records, this has got to be a mental health issue. Nobody reacts like that. Who's balanced?
So the real question we really have to ask now, since we're talking about mental health and Dead 7, gun control.
Ooh. I say guns for all.
I agree, guns for all.
Oh,
Just make them really expensive.
Or $500 a bullet.
Exactly. That's a good enough thing for me, man.
There you go.
I actually didn't think that was a bad idea. Like when I heard Chris Rock say that, he was like, "Yeah, we should raise the price of bullets." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'd like to see what happens if we raise the price of bullets. I bet you a lot less people will get shot."
I mean, you can make your own bullets, but people will be making, you know what I mean? So people will be way around.
Niggas are not gonna be making their own bullets, man. That shit gonna blow up in their hand. People gonna lose a couple fingers and they gonna be done with that shit.
That's not even that high tech shit, man. Stop it, man. You just have to have the tools.
How many people out there constructing their own bullets? How many?
Out in the country, a whole hell of a lot, man.
I don't live in the fucking country. I live in Harlem.
Well, yeah. Well, you're not gonna.
Well, how do you know that's not gonna just generate a black market for people selling bullets, man?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's.
I mean, it's not too practical to self-load bullets. I mean, can people even self-load pistol rounds? I mean, I can't imagine the time it takes to do that.
And not everybody has easy access to a black market, but everybody has easy access to a fucking Walmart where you can get a 109mm round for about $20 at fucking Walmart with an ID.
I did hear on the bright side, I mean, for whatever difference it actually makes in the end, that Walmart's going to stop selling semi-automatic rifles because the sales volume isn't enough, supposedly. Who the fuck knows? You guys see that article today?
Yeah, they're stopped. I guess they stopped selling the stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, who has the guns, I mean, is of secondary importance, man. As long as you have a society that is breeding mentally ill people, whether it's guns or whether it's knives or whether it's just whatever the case may be, like, we're gonna be dysfunctional in some way, shape, or form.
But I'm not gonna blame society for that, man. People are gonna be crazy in any society. You can't control every single person.
But I mean, the reason that society has such a bad mental health issue is because we have inadequate, in the past, health insurance and access to health insurance and mental health.
Or just how about the fact that this society puts so much pressure on people, it drives them fucking crazy. Like when you really under pressure, and maybe you don't have the same access to opportunities, or maybe you get discriminated against, or maybe you get exploited, or maybe you're just fucking depressed because you can't even have a semblance of a life because you're too busy caught up in the rat race. That shit will drive you crazy. Stressful emotions and negative emotions, they break down the physical body. You know what I mean? Like this shit, like we underestimate how much the society's conditioning really has an effect on us.
I don't know. You guys are giving a lot of excuses for a fucking dirtbag. You know what I mean?
I'm not giving excuses.
Jesus.
I'm not justifying what he did. I'm saying that there are multiple facets to this conversation, and it's not just about gun control. It's not just about mental health. It's also about the circumstances that this society places people in.
I mean, did this guy just feel he was privileged? You know what I mean?
What?
It seemed like he had complaints wherever he went.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's on him, man. Like all this stuff that he's tweeting out now. I mean, he could have done that earlier without the actions, and people could have been like, "Oh, this guy needs help," and it could have helped him. I mean,
the why still matters, though. I mean,
they don't.
yeah, it does. I mean, that's why we're having this conversation.
Because it's like Gonzo, where do you draw the line, man? One person dies, you don't give a fuck. Two people die, you don't give a fuck. 4 people die, 8 people die. What about 8,000? What about 800,000? You know what I mean? At what point?
It's not that I don't care about the fact that they die. I don't care. It's sad. It's tragic. Whatever. But it's that.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, you sound really broken up about it, bro.
No, I mean, obviously, I don't know the person. Then I don't know the person. So why I'm not gonna be any kind of emotional about it.
I'm not asking you to shed a tear, but you have to have some kind of opinion. You have to care.
My opinion is to not be around crazy motherfuckers.
Can't help that, man. It's the world, man. Unless you living in the country, and even then you can't guarantee
right.
it.
So I mean, that's why when I walk on the street, you know, I'm aware of everybody walking next to me. I'm not going to be standing somewhere with somebody pointing a pistol at me for 10, 20 seconds and not notice them.
Well, you know, in their defense, and again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm defending, but you're trained not to look if you're a reporter, because people are always going to be walking by. You're always doing live shots and live locations, and you always, whenever you see a reporter do that, you always see him stay focused on the camera no matter what.
You know what? And I agree with you there. When I saw that clip, I was really impressed by her because that was really professional of her. But at the same time, the camera wasn't even on her at that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking
First guy, man. Hey, but I know you said there's various things here, but what role does Black Lives Matter have to play?
Banshee, you got your cameras on. I don't want no exposals, man. Just giving you a heads up. It's on you though.
What's your screen name, Banshee?
Cameras on, huh?
Just giving them a heads up, man. I don't want to facilitate no exposure, man. I don't want you to be on the board. Did 7 expose me? You know?
Nah, next thing you know, he's on that Summer Jam screen.
Oh my gosh. People getting exposed. You're pretending to be black or what? There you go. Okay. All right. Y'all heard me tell him, though, right? Y'all heard me tell him.
All right, hello, can you hear me?
Right now, it's a white man. Period.
Oh, can you guys hear me? We good?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, but how much does Black Lives Matter have to do with this? Because he said in his manifesto he was really mad about the Charleston killing.
Every week you stay going in on this Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God,
Yeah, man. Black Lives Matter and Black feminists on Twitter, man. Every week.
Fuck no Black Lives Matter, man.
I'm just going from what on his manifesto. I'm not bringing this shit up. It's
Prior
right
to
there.
you going in on it, no one here even knew it was more than a hashtag. Like, true story.
That's what I asked last week. I said, was it more than a hashtag? Now it's the new Jesse Jackson. What does Black Lives Matter think?
I mean,
Jesse Jackson for Black Lives Matter.
They got to be talking. They got to be something. If they have an ear with Bernie Sanders, he's supposed to give them their policy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not like they're nobody. If they got an ear of a potential presidential elect.
They're nobodies, man.
Yeah.
Okay. The Black Lives Matter thing. I just watched this video, them talking about the policy they just came up with. The policy isn't half bad. The problem is the people who are supporting it.
Can you update us as to what that policy is, real quick?
Pretty much is saying that police need body cameras. Police can't go out and just beat niggas in the street. I don't know if I can cuss on the stream. My bad.
Yeah, you're all good.
But yeah, you can't be beating black people in the street. People of minority needs to be treated the same way as people of majority, and it just pretty much shows some better respect.
Aren't those laws already on the books though? Except maybe the first one.
Okay. The one that really got me, and I think it is, but the one that really got me was that the people in the area should dictate who the cops should be. That you can't have a person who does not live in that area as a cop working in the area.
Now, what are the details on that? Like, what does I know you might not have this answer, but what does that process really look like? You know what I mean? Like, how is the community? How is the community participating in choosing this police force?
I think that work. It should be like how we pick judges for the area. It should be that there's candidates, and we should choose who gets to work there. It may be a little extra work, might be a little extra money, but it's be better for the community in the long run.
No, that wouldn't work.
It's one of those things that we have to stick with it. We can't just say it. Oh, it looks good on paper and it sounds good. It makes us look good. We actually have to stick with this and see it work out.
Gonzo, why don't you think it would work out?
In my line of work, I talk to cops on a regular basis, and we have ton of and I've actually asked them about, why don't they move into the community where they service, and they don't like the idea of it because they don't want their neighbor to be like, oh, that guy pulled me over, I'm gonna do something to him, yada yada yada. They're not comfortable with that. A lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them do live in the area, but that's not something that they care about. I think the Black Lives Matter movement, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that that demographically the police force is reflective of the community. So you can live somewhere else, but at least if the community is half black, let the force be half black, and then they gotta drive in from the next town over or whatever.
I think that would ring true, but I mean the fact is, that's essentially white supremacy is what you're hearing. I mean, in small rural communities, they don't have a choice to import all these people from other surrounding communities because they're already in a fucking rural area. So the idea that they wouldn't be from the same community or the same city or the same town is just bullshit. It's like a non-starter. Yeah.
I put the policy in the chat.
And the other thing about police and stuff, I mean, I heard that excuse before. Oh, well, we don't want cops to be too friendly with the population they're policing. Well, what does that say about your police force in the first place? That's not. that doesn't work to me. And like in New York, for instance, maybe a lot of the cops are they live in New Jersey, they live in Staten Island, or they live in Long Island, or whatever. And that doesn't work because they have no connection to the people that they deal with on a basis. If you're a fucking white Italian or you're fucking Irish or whatever the fuck you are, what connection are you going to feel to an Asian community? What connection are you going to feel to a West Indian community? There's none. So that just doesn't work. And I'm not saying everyone has to be the same race as the next guy, but there has to be a sense of community that we're not getting right now.
But you can get that sense without living in the city. I mean, what I said is that basically they could have the racial equity in the police force without the police officers necessarily having to live there.
But the example that you gave of the officers that you had spoken to personally, their excuse was that they don't want to feel retribution or they don't want to be essentially a member of the community that they're policing.
That's valid though, because people are not always logical. You know what I mean? Like people in general, especially like young black culture, they don't like the police. You know what I mean? And so you can literally become like your environment could literally become very hostile to you.
Good.
There's a reason why they don't like the police, though, man. I mean,
there's a reason why it's so fucking hostile in the first place. Because
there's lots of reasons for it. But it's still valid that a police officer would not want to live in the same community. I'm just seeing both sides. It's valid that a police officer would not want to live in the same community.
You can't say as a police officer that kids, like people under 25, should have better role models when you won't go and be a role model in that community. How can you, like, it all boils down to practice what you preach. Don't be afraid to go in that community when you're not a cop. I feel like it's an excuse to use because, I do dirt in that neighborhood and I don't want to go back because I know people are going to be pissed off.
Yo, but what mentality you have, man? Why are you assuming that cops only do dirt?
I'm not saying all cops do dirt, but when you give me that excuses because I don't want people knowing what neighborhood I live in, to me it sounds like you're scared. Why are you scared?
Nah, man, because people are illogical. Like people wild out. People, I've seen videos of cops getting shot for giving people tickets. So you know what I mean. So it's like, imagine if you knew where that cop lived. Like imagine knowing that the what's it called is knowing the criminals knowing where the cops live if who the underbellies of the community or whatever. It's just a complicated situation. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying I see the perspective.
No, but the majority of places, you know, they're not. People aren't going out of their way to attack police officers, and there's cops fucking everywhere, all over America. Almost every town, every city has a police force or a state police force or a sheriff's department, and those people aren't, you know, they're part of the community still. And
it might be big overblown, but yeah, they I mean, I can see both sides.
how can you? You know, would you have, you know, your leadership of your town or city live outside of your town or your city? I mean, it's illogical.
Bro, people are illogical.
Okay,
People are illogical and irrational.
I'm not always happy with the MTA, but I'm not going to attack their employees that live in my fucking building. You know?
You may not. But I know people out there that would.
You can use that same excuse as a person that, let's say you arrest someone's sister, right? The dude's crazy. He's gonna follow you to work and follow you when you get off and kill you. If they're gonna kill you, they're gonna kill you regardless.
Yeah,
they're gonna hurt you. They're gonna hurt you regardless. It doesn't matter where you live.
Exactly.
Second, with things like Facebook, Twitter, the internet, people can find where you live by just you posting a picture. Remember the incident with that one singer where she posted a bunch of pictures of her house and a dude was able to find where she lived and hurt her family? It doesn't matter where you live. If someone wants you dead, they will find a way to kill you.
If they really want to put the work in, yes, they can do those things. It'll be a lot easier. It'll be a lot easier if they drive past your house every day on the way home.
Are you a police officer?
Let me put it like this. If somebody guns down my little nephew or something, a police officer shoots my little nephew over nothing, man, hey. He better be on 24-hour surveillance, man.
Yo, he didn't mean that. Whoever's listening, he didn't mean that. We's the good colored folks on here, except 8 one of y'all, but you know what I mean.
Oh, man. Jeez.
We arguing about shit over here, and we all agree.
Yo, Dad.
What should be representative of the community?
Yo, Dad, what you think about him talking about killing policemen on the podcast, man? How you feel about that, Dad?
Man, I'm already sending out all the proper memos. His email address in it, like this dude.
Hold up, I thought you was gonna agree with him though. Aren't you the one that said we should run down on the police station? That wasn't you?
That sound like that.
He's like on some lone gunman, like, I don't know. I didn't say we should, you know, man on fire the fucking government, you know. I mean, he can have at it. I mean, while he's in court, I'll be right there in the back. I feel him, you know, cheering for him, hoping he gets off, but, you know, I'll donate to your defense, but, you know.
I got that covered, bro. Got that covered.
And you got cheese? Oh, you doing it the wrong way, brother. The whole final changes when you got bread. Like, that changes everything.
One thing I do is like no. I think they got no policing for profit, like for those needless tickets and shit like that. And but they got end broken windows policy. Like, I mean, some of this stuff is like.
But how are they enforcing this shit? Because as we've seen in history, it does not matter the laws that are on the books. It only matters what they enforce. How are they enforcing this shit? I don't see any teeth.
How are they enforcing what?
Whatever these things are supposed to be. Like, how are you going to enforce?
These policies. Well, they're going to make it into the law, I guess. And if they, I guess they'd be tried if they break these. The police departments be tried.
So, Dad, why aren't you guys saying this is a states' right issue or, you know, whatever?
Look, I have to be completely honest. I was not for the Black Lives Matter thing. I thought it was stupid, and I thought it was just another way for people to make a scene on social media. But I also see that this could be a stepping stone in the right direction for people of minority. Not just black, but Hispanics as well. This could be a great thing. This could be a great thing if it works out.
How?
Well, because it opens people's eyes who wouldn't normally pay attention to it.
Yeah.
With the whole Ferguson thing, it made us look bad. I don't care what anyone said. That Ferguson thing made us look bad. To the point where it was just like, I don't know. It just made us look bad. Disgusting. And the whole rioting afterwards.
Why did it make us look bad?
Because to this day, I do not see what the cop did wrong. And this may make me the bad guy, but the dude ran away from the cop. He ran away from a cop. You did nothing wrong, so why did you run away?
I'm silently co-signing.
Wait, why did you run away?
And
And then second, we all rioted because of this, but you didn't riot when that boy in Florida was killed for no reason? Like, where was Jesse Jackson at then? Where were all you so-called, freedom movement fighters and Black Lives Matter then when this kid was gunned down in Florida and the dude walked away?
Are you talking about Trayvon?
Yeah, the Trayvon guy. So, Black Lives Matter, but this guy was actually a fucking criminal. You did, as much as I hate bringing this up, you did rob a store, you did beat a guy for cigarillos, you beat a guy for...
Hey, let him finish.
He beat a guy for cigarillos.
Don't finish me.
On top of that, you ran away from a cop. You ran away from a cop.
You went the wrong way with it, brother. Let me save it. Let me say this. If I'm going to co-sign it, let me save this.
Go ahead.
Like, they rioted when it was kind of hazy and kind of fuzzy in Ferguson, but when a black man gets choked out on camera in New York, there's not the same response. Like, they should have wilded out in New York harder than they did.
Dude. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And the same with Trayvon. People.
Yeah, even here in Dallas, there was people in the street.
Nowhere near Ferguson. You guys believe
Nah, but you guys are forgetting the real reason why Ferguson happened, though. Ferguson, it wasn't just the shooting happened and he was unarmed. It's the fact that his body laid out there for hours, and they weren't even going to charge the dude, and there were so many unclear answers about what happened.
Okay, all right, listen, you already just proved the point. There were so many unclear answers. This dude was choked out on camera in broad daylight. There was no questions, and there was no recourse. Like, come on, man. Two totally different situations. There was nothing fuzzy about it. We should have spazzed out in black then, in my opinion.
True. Okay, I give you that. Okay.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean,
them choking out the guy on camera, there should have been more of a repercussion for that. We should have spoke up more for that.
I mean, the worst one was the one in North Carolina where the guy was running away and got shot in the back.
Yes, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was real bad.
But I think it's just a culmination of all of them happening. I mean, especially so close together and back to back like this.
What's wrong with the white people, 88? What's going on, man?
Fuck if I know, but no, the point is, I mean, all of this is happening year after year and nothing's changing to the point that there have been all these protests and there have been all these open discussions with, whatever it's worth, for what it's worth, Black Lives Matter, all of the internet stuff that's going on. And there have been a lot of protests around the country, whether you guys want to acknowledge them or not. I know there were when Gardner got choked in Staten Island. I know there were when Michael Brown got shot. I know there were when Trayvon Martin got shot. So to say that there aren't people on the ground caring about these issues, that's not reality at all. I mean,
I was in Australia when the Boston thing. Was it Boston where the cops beat the dude? Like, one of the incidents that happened. Yeah. And when I was in Australia, the news were bashing American police. Like, the whole world knew the American police was dirty. Like, they knew that if you were a man of color, you were gonna get fucking killed by the police. They knew that, and the whole world knew that. And I feel like, again, the Black Lives Matter has momentum because people around the world will support this. People want this to happen.
I think everyone sees this. And I know, like, just from living in New York, again, I mean, it's the only experience I can share about this subject, at least, is that, there are now special prosecutors to deal with some of these. And there's been a lot of changes departmentally and with the district attorney's office and with the attorney general. There's also been a lot of police policy and policing laws that have changed, like, the stop and frisk shit that was fucking unconstitutional. And the Department of Justice, countrywide, is taking back a lot of the Department of Defense stuff that they've given out to these police. So, I mean, stuff is starting to happen. We just have to keep on top of it to make sure it continues. Right?
I feel you. I agree.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think we're on the trajectory where we're doing anything that's really effective enough to change the systemic racism and exploitation and classism and sexism and elitism and all the other shit. I don't think right now, because these fucking, I mean, the protests are good and there's conversations being had and there's organizations trying to do things, but what are the results of these?
Bro,
You know, awareness is growing. That's true. Awareness is growing as a result of all this. But I don't feel legislatively we're any closer to a shift. I don't feel like ideologically we're getting there, but we're still creeping along. And I don't think the power structure is feeling the pressure like maybe 88 like you think they are. The power structure is kind of comfortable right now.
But I just ticked off a bunch of things that have actually changed.
Oh, I got a question for you also. So let me. So I see what you have, and what the aspirations you have for the black community and stuff like that. So, are you really being realistic with it, or like, it's like you're striving for a 4.0, but we gotta be glad that we're getting 2.0. We're even in class. We're not on academic probation. We gotta be realistic. I see what you're saying.
Listen. I think the difference is that right now, some people may even say that we're at a 2.0, where right now I think we're at like a 0.5. You know what I mean?
Okay, I feel what you're saying.
We may not hit the 4.0. I agree with that. We may land in the 3.0, 3.2 range. But I don't think we're at a 2. I don't even think we're at a 2.0 right now. Because a 2.0 would be a basic respect for human life, a basic respect for a person, no matter what their demographic is. And I feel like that's the baseline. And I feel like we're a long way from that.
So how do you think we can fix that?
Oh man.
You say we're too far from that.
That's a layered answer, and it has a lot of dimensions to it. I think one of the major dimensions is that culturally, what you see in at least this country is you see it infused with all the same isms that infect people's minds. So people are racist because society is racist. People are sexist and classist because society is sexist and classist. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that's perpetuated by media stuff. A lot of it is perpetuated by 300 or 400 years of where we've come from, and then plus a couple thousand years before that, even in Europe, the people that have founded this country come from. So there's a lot of shit that goes into answering that. But I think that the short answer is one person at a time. We really agree. We just agree that there's a better way to do things, and that we're going to commit to it. And then I think we either have to do it through legislation, or we have to do it through like other means. Like, and I'm not saying we got to get violent, but we got to put some pressure on some people. Real pressure. Real pressure. But that takes collective action.
I guess we can talk about this living wage nonsense as much as I don't want to.
That's your boy Bernie's baby, ain't it?
Oh, this thread. I actually was excited about this topic and had a lot to say when the thread was on page 11, but at page 33, I'm just like, oh God. Everything that could be said has already been said, and it's really become just a repetitive.
I didn't read it.
You could have graced us with your ideas.
I actually was in the thread. I actually already put my ideas forth, and Brokewave. Shout out to Brokewave, man. He was in there swinging the sword for like 3 days or so. And then Gina, that ain't no damn puppy. They were actually going at it. I mean, I can never shout out Napoleon, worst of all time. Double Decker, worst of all time.
You just did. What the fuck?
Nah,
you just did. He shouldn't have been mentioned. What the fuck?
Yo, we need him on
the podcast.
We need him on the podcast. We need that. Oh my God, Napoleon! If you listen to this, which I know you are, you stalker motherfucker, come on the podcast and talk your shit. I want to hear it.
So I
don't believe a character like him exists. I don't think he's a real person. He might be an alias too.
Like a robot, huh?
It might be a composite.
So what's the consensus on raising minimum wage to whatever? Was it supposed to be $15? What do you guys think about?
I hope
national.
I hope it's more than what anyone makes on this podcast. I wholeheartedly believe in that.
Huh?
Yeah, but what about like?
$30 an hour? $30 an hour?
Well, let's be realistic here. Say if you make it like $15, $17 an hour, what happens to the local pizza shop? How high do they have to raise their slice of pizza to cover to pay these guys like $17, $18 an hour?
Well, why don't you tell us?
I think it's going to shut down the little guys.
It will shut down.
We're going to be killed.
It will shut down some businesses. It'll put something because they won't be able to afford the labor.
Well, I mean, most businesses, the optimal thing to do is buy. If there's a way to raise wages, which there is, to in part, do something about maybe payroll taxes, maybe other forms of taxes that you could decrease on business owners to make up for their decreasing whatever.
That's a good suggestion.
I think the hardest thing it'll be on is, the other thing is you can do, there's, as it is now, I mean, you can tier minimum wage in a way that's meaningful for certain businesses, especially in certain municipalities. I think the way that costs have run in most of the country, or at least the urban areas that, I mean, where costs have overshot everything, in those places, you're going to have to make concessions between the government and business owners to maybe get a meaningful wage for these people. But it's doable. And, just like there is now with, say, tip staff, they have different wages than just normal non-tip staff. So that's another thing you have to look at. But at the same time, I think paying even servers and stuff like that, or bartenders, whatever, $5 an hour or $4 an hour, whatever it is, it's really not going to cut it anymore either. So, but you got to figure out the perfect balance.
I actually agree with a lot of that. I think that the issue we're gonna run into is that whenever you put more of the revenue into one pot, you're taking it out of another pot. So it's like, who's gonna take that loss? I like the idea of transferring over to the taxpayer, maybe because it evens it out a little bit. But if it ends up going straight to the business owner, and then when it gets to a certain point, maybe the business owner starts kind of exploiting that and taking advantage of that. I mean, it just gets tricky. It gets tricky.
Yo, rich people don't pay taxes, man. Rich people don't pay taxes. I'm serious.
Okay.
They find loopholes on that shit.
So they want to raise the minimum wage to like, some people are saying like 10 something, right? Some places minimum wage is almost $7.50.
Yeah.
So
federal minimum wage, $7.25, I think, $7.50.
Yeah, $7.25, $7.50, and they're talking about to $10.10 even. So I can see how it can be detrimental to the economy for smaller businesses, but bigger businesses should be fine. I feel like maybe they should make a balance in between the two things. If
Isn't
you're
it funny how it hurts small business, but big business should be fine, and it comes from the party that hates Walmart and all the big businesses? It's crazy.
Well,
I don't want to get started on my how
Yeah,
I feel
it's
about
crazy.
them. I don't even want to get started how I feel about them, but
Yeah.
I feel like this has to be something that we just can't happen overnight. It has to be one of those things where it's small steps to raise this. Like, I can see raising it $10. That shouldn't hurt too bad, but like $15, yeah, that's outrageous.
It doesn't have to hurt at all if the profit goes from the taxpayer to the worker. It doesn't have to hurt at all because we're already spending money on dumb shit, on bullshit, on all kind of shit that we really don't need to be spending money on. Why not spend that money, putting more money in the working class and middle class pocket, lower middle class pocket? That makes sense.
So maybe Dead and Digger, I'm not sure who else. So you guys, you guys don't support government substance programs. So how do you rationalize what large corporations do by paying minimum wage or lower?
Well, I think, my opinion, I don't think you're supposed to have like minimum wage. I don't think you're supposed to just live off it. I don't think it was ever the intention for jobs of that stature. You know what I'm saying? I think you're supposed to move up and eventually gain skills and get better jobs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, of course. No, I understand why you would believe that.
And,
But
and let's be clear, less than 5% of the workforce is making minimum wage.
Ooh, good stat drop. You got the receipts for it? Good stat
Yeah,
drop.
what a
Yeah, I'll
receipt.
bring
Okay.
it up.
Go to Whitney Houston.
Oh man, so you mean instead of making 810, they're making 830? Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Oh, you don't.
Good rebuttal. Good rebuttal.
I'm saying I work with people. I worked a minimum wage job when I was 18 or 20. I've been with people who've been there for years, and they were barely making like 930. You can't live in LA making no 930.
That's
So I guess
another argument why I think it should be left up to the states. Like, a $15 minimum wage might not sound crazy in, San Francisco or New York, but in like buttfuck Wyoming. No offense to anybody who lives in Wyoming. Like that's a fuck ton of money. Like it doesn't. The one shoe fits all just doesn't work. Like the cost of living fluctuates.
and I don't think anyone's thinking that. And of course, that's not what
federal minimum wage is a blanket wage. Like it does affect everyone. What do you mean no one was thinking that?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm looking. It's more. I looked this up. People are saying the same thing.
So I mean,
what happens in Texas is Texas is like 7 something, right? If you raise the minimum wage to $17 in Texas, it's gonna kill everything. Everything is gonna be out of proportion. There will be no point of going to school if you can make 17 working at McDonald's. There's no point.
It's true.
But then this also goes to another theory that I have: make schools more accessible for people to go to. If schools were better, people can get better education, and they won't have to rely on a McDonald's job or a car wash job. They can get that $30 an hour because they have an education. I'm not saying you got to get a fucking doctor's degree, but an associate's degree should be able to get you a decent job, and I don't feel like you can with that.
Yeah. So maybe Jed, as a individual and as a taxpayer, how do you feel about your tax dollars going to offset
subsidies,
wages? Yeah.
Wait, didn't my tax dollars bail out a company who started something?
Subsidies for anyone.
Okay.
Anyone at all. No subsidies. Zero. Zilch.
What about for corporations?
None. Yeah, none. Zero.
That's what I'm saying. My tax dollars paid to bail out companies that didn't do anything at all. I don't have a problem with bailing out. I mean, helping out people, get an extra dollar or two. But I'm not going to give you $15 to work at McDonald's. I'm sorry.
Yo, our tax dollars just droned a couple babies by in the time that this podcast was on. We can throw some minimum wage dollars at some working class families, man.
Like I said, I can do 1 or 2, but I can't do 17. Like, I'm sorry, no.
Well, I mean, I guess the thing is, do you own a McDonald's, or are you an actual individual taxpayer who's paying subsidies because of McDonald's?
I mean, no, I don't work at McDonald's. So
you missed this question.
You know what I mean, bro?
Say the question again.
So, like, it's like this. I mean, do you own a McDonald's, or are you a taxpayer paying through your taxes money to offset wages?
Well, McDonald's isn't paid,
It's really straightforward.
Because we're paying for it anyway right now. Shit.
I mean, but maybe I'm still not understanding. But the way we're paying for it now is that we may be paying this or that, but it's not going to the people that it should be going to. I think that's the point of raising the minimum wage.
What you need to ask yourself is, what is the point of raising the minimum wage, and does raising the minimum wage solve that problem? And I believe the answer is no.
You know what? That's actually a good starting point, because I was going to ask, what sector of the population are we targeting with wanting to be minimum wage? Are we talking about like high school kids who are just looking for an extra job, or are we talking about 2 people trying to support like maybe like a family, like a 2-child family or something? Like is that what we're going with it?
The minimum wage should be raised locally. And I think it should be, I guess, do it per city or per county or whatever the half of the average rent for an apartment is. That way you get a roommate. That should be what you get a week or some shit like that, or a month or whatever the fuck.
I like what you want to
calculate.
Yeah. That's cool. But
I mean, again, it's not that crazy.
You know what, guys? You don't give a fuck about people, but you always down to give them a fair shot, man. You always down to give them a fair chance, man. I appreciate that.
I keep it real, man.
I keep it real unless there's Haitians involved.
I keep it real on them too. I just don't care.
Or fucking white reporters in Virginia. We don't give a fuck about them.
Oh, come on, man. Jeez, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but she got her first shot.
Hey, can I say another thing? Some people were like really surprised that she got hit, or I think he might have missed his first shot. But some people like were surprised that she was able to get and run. I think he might have missed his first couple of shots, but. Well, people are surprised by that.
The first couple of shots, but then it's adrenaline too. I mean,
yeah. That's because you've never seen anyone shot. It's not like on TV or in the movie. Like when you get
I knew that. I was just trying to explain to everybody.
Go to the gun range and feel that recoil. Niggas aren't, Steven Seagal out here.
Running and then drop.
But it depends on the caliber of the gun she was shot with. Because if she was shot with a higher caliber, that ass would have went straight to sleep. But it looked like she ate those first two. Those first 2 or 3 and just booked it out of there. But if there was some heavy shit being shot at her, man, it'd have cut her straight down.
I think he missed. That just shows black folks can't shoot. Boy.
He probably did miss. I mean, he had one hand.
He hit her.
And he was filming. He was filming while shooting. That's why he had to drop the phone to get it right.
Bro, he was looking away. How you gonna miss?
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how did he miss that? He was nervous, probably.
Was he shooting with his left hand? It looked like he was shooting with his left hand, recording with the right.
Y'all assuming he missed. I don't know if he missed. He looked like he was. I mean, I only watched it once, and I wasn't looking to see if he hit or missed. But it looked like his shit was on straight.
I think it's an poor taste for us to be breaking down this video like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you gonna talk about his poor taste? You just dropped a joke a second ago. She got her first shot. Get out of here.
But anyways, back to the minimum wage thing. I think raising the minimum wage is just a shitty Band-Aid. But it looks like that's the way the country's headed.
That's what. Hold on. That's just Bernie's platform. I think if Bernie is, if he's going to win an election, he's going to win it on free college and a living wage. What you guys think?
Wow, what a horrible thing.
I'm down for the living wage. The living wage needs to be. I mean, that needs to be.
I don't know. I'd rather have free college than a living wage. Why
don't we do both?
Living wage? Because then you're going to have people just want to work at McDonald's their whole life. And then you're not getting the most out of human beings' potential by having them flip burgers for $20.
That's my problem.
Until the robots do it, somebody got to flip them fucking burgers.
That's what I'm saying with minimum wage is I'm afraid that one day they're going to raise it and a person, like some friends and family of mine, they're going to be like, you know what, why do I go to school? Why do I even try when I can go to McDonald's, work 6 hours a day, make $17, and smoke and chill all day?
Isn't that? I'm just playing devil's advocate. Isn't that okay if somebody that wants to choose that for their life?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, like we're just gonna have the Mexicans pick our trash and mow the lawn and stuff all the time. Everybody wasn't made to be a brain surgeon. Everybody.
Damn, why gotta be the Mexicans though?
No.
I mean, we know they are Mexican, but you don't have to say it.
My man just threw it out there like it was all casual, like it was understood.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody wasn't made to be a professor. It's okay to be a bread man. It's okay to be the milkman. It's okay to be a truck driver.
I'm not saying that a person has to do that for the rest of their life. No, you should strive to be more, but don't give them that ability to do it. If you give them that ability to do it, they're gonna fucking take it.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, especially being absolutist about it. I mean, who the heck? No, doing something like that, it's not a choice for the most part. And I mean, someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna have to do it. Not everyone's as smart as the next guy or whatever, but I don't think people willingly, if they have any ambition, are just going to be like, oh, the bare minimum's good enough. It's not people work minimum wage jobs because they fucking want to. Whatever.
Hey, man, I've seen the whole picture
who just want to make enough to get by so they can do whatever they want to do with the rest of their life. Yeah, like some people just want to rock out.
Being a bus driver. No, not everybody wants to buy Jordans every other week. Someone's happy making $40,000 being a bus driver.
There's nothing wrong with that. People have hobbies. People have passions. People choose to cook. You know, maybe not at McDonald's, but people choose life like that.
So if a nigga want to work 30 hours a week working McDonald's and he doesn't have a woman nagging him every week, he can pay all his bills. He has water to wash his ass every day. What's wrong with that? He's cool with that.
I'm not mad at that.
Oh my goodness. And you guys think raising the minimum wage actually helps with that? It actually fixes that?
Nah, I think ultimately it would do more harm than good, because I think it really would damage a lot of smaller businesses. It would really damage a lot of smaller businesses. That's a pretty significant increase.
That's an easy fix, man. Just write that in, bro. If you're smaller than 15 employees or whatever, you don't have to adhere to it. It's not a big deal.
Like, because they've done that
I'd
out in
be
San
for that.
Francisco, and I can tell you it has not been
That'll
good
work. Yeah.
for it at all.
If you're a businessman worth any salt, you're gonna fucking figure out how to make it work. I mean, you know, free market doesn't pick losers, right, Dad?
Where's this free market you speak of?
But I mean, honestly, if the fucking businessman wants to succeed, he's gonna succeed. It's not gonna stop him having to pay people. If he doesn't need the fucking employees, he's not gonna keep them.
Yeah, but if it's succeeding, is that going to be raising the slice of pizza to 30? I mean, a pizza pie to $30 for regular.
It shouldn't translate to the customer. It shouldn't translate. It should translate to. The profit should go to the. It's just a different distribution of revenue. The prices on the product shouldn't be going up. But again, how do you regulate that shit? You can put it in the law, but like Ade was saying, a businessman is going to find a way to some degree. And I'm not worried about the law getting on the books. I'm more worried about the enforcement and who's going to benefit from the wage increase.
And you know, the thing is about prices increasing and all that. You know, maybe it will. You know, maybe some things will increase, and I mean that's not the end of the world, and it shouldn't be. For anyone, whether you're a consumer or you're, you know, the person selling the product. I mean, it's not.
They'll find a way to survive. If they work good, they'll find a way to survive. You see white girls getting ass shots. Black girls aren't going to go extinct because white girls getting ass shots and it's cheap all the time. They'll find a way to survive.
Oh,
Businesses will find a way to survive.
That's quite the analogy right there.
They'll find a way. This is white chicks with ass shots, Kardashians.
I don't know where it's going with this, but I'm listening. Go on.
Jeez.
But I mean, as it stands right now, it's on the company, it's on the business itself to. I mean, I don't know the individual details of the individual plan, but is there any tax support coming to if the minimum wage gets raised, or is it all coming out of the company profits? Because if it all comes out of the company profits, that's when it's gonna create a big issue.
So far, it looks like it's coming straight out of the company's pocket. That's what it looks like so far.
That's gonna cause a problem.
I don't know which one said, but if it should apply to certain companies. Like if you have under 15, you should have to raise it. I agree with that to a certain extent, but I don't know. I'm seeing both sides on this. It would be nice for you to raise it, not too much. Again, maybe $10, $11, but at the same time.
When you a small business, man, like, you know, your numbers are everything, and like just a little shift here, a little shift there, man, it can really turn the tide on whether you're able to turn a profit and be sustainable. A lot of those middle range businesses, they making it on a very low margin for error.
I mean, my biggest concern is, you know, basically finding enough deductions and expanding enough every year that I don't have to pay any taxes. You know.
Some Republicans are saying that we should create more jobs and give people more hours, therefore they won't need to work. I mean, have to raise minimum wage. And I kind of agree with that. If there were more jobs, we wouldn't have to necessarily raise the minimum wage.
Wait, but I heard them say that everyone should work 2-3 jobs, man.
Oh, fuck that. 40 hours is
That was
reaching
Jeff,
I'm late.
wasn't it?
40 hours.
Our hero.
When people working 70 hours a week, I mean, you know, just go ahead and put some chains around my neck and my ankles and stuff. Shit. Yeah. How much do you want people to work?
Well, we gotta build that. We gotta build that wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta build that wall. We gotta work 70 hours a week.
Wall. God damn it.
I mean, I know we have some anti-big government folks on the podcast, but I mean, maybe we need to like do a focus on public works and infrastructure and building. I mean,
you mean like FDR?
We have
like Trump. That's what Trump wants
like
to do.
Trump, exactly. Trump's all about the big government building the big wall. So, I mean, last I knew, like,
but we actually have bridges and roads that need to be repaired, not a fucking non-existent wall and shit, man. Like,
well, obviously, I don't want to see a fucking wall get built because it's fucking pointless.
yeah.
But
there's bridges and roads that need to be repaired. That's what this infrastructure should go for, man.
Yeah, of course it should. So I mean, maybe that's the answer to our fucked up, economy.
That's always been the problem. Like the Republicans never passed that in 2010. One of the first things Obama tried to get done, 2010, jobs bill, rejected, Congress. Fuck Republicans.
And it's not just repairing the old shit, it's building new shit. Like populations are expanding, cities are expanding, and increasing transportation and transportation of effectiveness improves your city's effectiveness. Yeah. If people can get from point A to point B quicker, they can, it increases commerce, it increases, business, it increases efficiency across the board.
What do you think about efficiency, Dad? Do you support that?
About the what?
Do you think the government should increase efficiency so businesses can make more money? Huh?
What kind of question is that?
When are we really gonna have this out, man? When are we gonna stop dancing with this and really do this, man?
Really do what? What are you talking about?
Motherfucking regulation, motherfucking.
You mean hang capitalism up and take shots at it?
Not at all. I'm talking about really come with cause we just always playing with it every week, man. We don't really go in. Can we go in?
If we could actually have a debate over capitalism that didn't revolve around big terms like fairness and right and yeah, exactly. Then I'd be all for it, man. If there was some numbers behind it, but it's going to come down to what people feel is fair or.
I mean, government gonna go.
You don't think the government has an obligation to be moral?
I think morality is subjective, man. Whose morality? I mean,
okay, so I'll say it like this: morality is in not harming another person.
Oh yeah, the government should absolutely protect people from harm. I would agree with that. There you go. But how far are you going to take that? Is the question.
We take it as far as we need to go. I mean, what is that? What kind of question is that?
As far as we need to go.
You can't have people harming people. Because that's it. You know what I mean? I think you can just start there as a baseline and go from there.
I'm all about non-aggression. But that the government is not exempt from that as well.
This is true, but this is why you need responsible people in government.
Stop it, man! Stop it!
The fact that we're laughing shows how sad the state is. But here's the real question: is that how long do you think we can really stay on this trajectory? Because I feel like maybe even us on this podcast, we're not really feeling the pressure. You know what I mean? Like we really just kind of go along with life. We all gonna wake up and go to work tomorrow and and get on with life. But eventually, I know this shit is gonna come to a head. So like, what is the preparation for that? Or why don't we more active now so that we don't get to that point?
What do you want us to do? Put our koofies on, go out and preach unity and shit? I mean, I feel what you're saying. I try to be a positive black role model to kids, But what do you want an individual person to do? I mean, I think about it every day.
I mean, again, I think it comes in. Oh, Dad, you want to save it? You want to save it?
No. I was, you know what? You're right. I'm not even gonna say that. Let me just say, if you put some real shit together, I'm in. I'm all for it.
I mean, but it has to be the biggest factor that needs to happen is it needs to be collective action. It can't be 10 motherfuckers on a podcast. It needs to be 10 million motherfuckers in a city, or it needs to be 100,000 people. It has to
cue the music, man. You know what? I'm gonna get some music for this little segment of the podcast every week. We'll be a little violin to start playing or some shit.
I'm just telling us where we gotta go, man. We have to get there because until we have collective action, the motherfucking system is not gonna pay attention. It has no reason to pay attention.
You gotta get some good shepherds to lead the herd of sheep. So
we do need a good leader.
I like that.
Do need a good
you
leader.
gotta drag them. You gotta drag the lemons. Like I said, everybody isn't bright. You gotta have some
But
fancy.
doesn't that go back to what we talked about earlier about having the police in the neighborhood? Wouldn't they be considered good leaders for kids? To show kids to get out there and strive to be better?
Only if the police themselves are acting morally.
Like you don't have to strive to be a basketball player or a rapper, that you can go out there and actually do something better?
Only if the police themselves are acting morally. If you have police in the community acting immorally, like a lot of them are, then that's not a good thing.
I don't know.
Listen, we gonna make it to the promised land, y'all. But it starts with us. If we can't,
we gonna be all right.
If we can't get 8 motherfuckers on a podcast to give a fuck about shit, man. Like, what's really like? What are we really complaining about?
No, that's Dela Cruz right there. That's Mr. With the scarf on. That's him. He the one that don't care. I care.
He talking about your scarf, guys.
That's cool. That's cool. He in New York. I'm not hating. I'm just saying he the one don't care. He don't care about the white woman getting shot. You know, I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, it is what it is, but still.
Damn, white people get no. If she was black, y'all would give a fuck though. If she was black,
I'm just saying. You stay up in like 1 o'clock this morning. You'll see Feed the Children commercials. See Feed the Children commercials. Little kids with flowers on their face. Children die every day. People die every day. I feel what you're saying.
But here's my point though: is that it's coming for you eventually. Like either it's gonna come for you, or it's gonna come for your kids, or your kids.
You like his ominous character. Who is he? What is you? What is it? What's coming from me?
The inefficiencies, the exploitations, the ineffectiveness of our social order. It is stratifying. People are going up and people are going down quickly. The middle is getting cleared out. Now, some of us on this podcast may be going up. Some of us may be in that group that goes down. And what I'm saying is we're a little bit comfortable because we're not feeling the pressure. But if we know people are getting fucked up and people are important, and it's important because it's just important to maintain some level of morality, that's just one level. But even on a selfish level, if you know the shit is coming for you, why not act now instead of waiting until it's right on top of your ass? Because when it's right on top, when it's right on top of your ass, then it's too late.
Look, what I think you don't get is that we get it. It's fucked up. But what you don't get at the same time is every fucking day, suicide bomber fucking blows up someplace in fucking Fallujah, dog. Like every day I watch the world news. It's like, damn, do we really care about that shit here?
What does that have to do with what I just said?
I'm saying that's how it feels indifferent. It's the same way.
I don't feel indifferent. I'm saying why do we feel indifferent on this podcast to the point where we are at a level of inaction?
I put actions out. I do as much as I can. Like in my personal life, in my daily life, I try to help as much as possible.
I respect that.
I had a homeboy. He was gonna get a crazy interest rate on the car. I had to spit knowledge to the nigga about, don't let the car salesman screw you off. I spit knowledge to niggas about credit cards, financial awareness.
Listen. That's big though.
I'm trying to help dudes out. I give people advice. Try to invest your money, nigga. Don't go blow it at the club and stuff. I go out there. I help. Someone has a question about financial aid, how to set up, how to do this, go to college, whatever. I give advice. So I try to do as much as possible. It's not like I could go put on a cape and go in the air with the satellites and go hear everybody's cry.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Can I ask you what city you live in?
I'm in San Diego right now.
San Diego. Oh, I heard it's nice in San Diego. Oh, but listen though. So what if somebody organized something and they were like, you know what, we really want to get these laws changed. They maybe had like 10,000, 12,000 people. It was a momentum builder, and they're like, yo, we need you to take off work, and we need you to come down with us to City Hall, present this legislation to these politicians, and we need you to come out and show support. Would you do that?
I got plenty of vacation time. I would if it was legit. Who's that? You watching Love and Hip Hop in the background?
But yo, I fucks with that though. I feel like you doing what you can do, man. Because you know what, when the opportunity presents itself, and it will, man. You gotta take advantage of it. So I take my hat off to you.
So I mean, it's not like I won't, but if someone came to me correct, like we're gonna organize, not no Black Lives Matter, a bunch of chicks, with a bunch of cardboard signs and stuff going up and camera bombing people. I'm not, we come with a plan. Of course, why not?
I'm with it.
Exactly.
You heard that, Dad? All we gotta do is come with a plan, brother.
All right, we're at an hour. That's going to be time, fellas.
All right.
Sounds good.
That's cool.
So next week we talking about the plan, right? What's the plan?
I got my kufi ready for next week. Y'all just let me know.
Start a thread, man. Start a thread. You want to talk about it? Start a thread.
Full month.